The Selfish King and the Selfless Maiden. Once upon a time, in the heart of Africa, there was a vast and beautiful kingdom named Zoma. Zoma was ruled by a king named Oba, known far and wide for his wealth and grandeur. King Oba, however, was also known for his selfishness and greed. He hoarded treasures, imposed heavy taxes on his people, and cared little for their suffering. In the same kingdom lived a humble maiden named Amina. Amina was known for her kindness and generosity. Despite her modest means, she always found ways to help those in need, sharing her food with the hungry and her time with the lonely. Her selflessness earned her the love and respect of the villagers. One year, a terrible drought struck Zoma. The rivers dried up, crops failed, and the people began to starve. Instead of offering aid, King Oba increased taxes to fill his coffers with what little the people had left. The villagers were desperate and turned to Amina for guidance. Amina decided to visit the palace and plead with the king to show mercy. She dressed in her finest clothes, which were still quite humble, and walked to the grand palace. When she arrived, the guards laughed at her and refused her entry. But Amina was determined. She waited outside the palace gates, day and night, until finally, her persistence caught the attention of the king. Curious about the commotion, King Oba ordered that the maiden be brought before him. As Amina stood in the grand hall, she bowed deeply and spoke with a clear, strong voice. "Great King Oba," she began, "your people are suffering. The drought has left us with nothing, and yet you demand more from us. I beg you, in the name of your people, show mercy and provide us with the means to survive." King Oba scoffed at her plea. "Why should I care for the struggles of the common people? My duty is to maintain my wealth and power." Amina, undeterred, continued, "A true king's wealth is measured not by his gold but by the prosperity of his people. If you help them now, they will remain loyal and your kingdom will flourish." King Oba laughed. "And what would you know of ruling, girl? You are but a lowly maiden." Amina paused, then spoke softly but firmly, "I may be a maiden, but I understand the power of kindness and generosity. If you do not help your people, your kingdom will crumble, and you will be left with nothing but empty halls and silent riches." Intrigued by her courage and wisdom, King Oba decided to test her resolve. He decreed that if Amina could fill his palace courtyard with something precious by sunrise, he would lower the taxes and provide aid to the villagers. If she failed, she would be banished from the kingdom. Amina accepted the challenge and left the palace. She spent the night visiting every villager, asking them to gather in the courtyard at sunrise with a small token of hope and gratitude. The villagers, who trusted and admired Amina, agreed. As the first light of dawn broke, King Oba looked out over his courtyard and was astonished. Hundreds of villagers stood together, each holding a small candle. As they lit their candles, the courtyard filled with a warm, golden light. The sight was breathtaking. The air was filled with the sound of soft prayers and songs of hope. King Oba, moved by the sight of his people united in their love for Amina and their hope for a better future, realized the true value of his kingdom. He saw that the true wealth of a ruler lay in the happiness and well-being of his people. With a heavy heart, King Oba descended to the courtyard and addressed his subjects. "From this day forward, I vow to be a better king. I will lower the taxes and provide aid to those in need. Let us rebuild this kingdom together, as one." The people cheered, and Amina smiled, knowing that her mission was accomplished. King Oba kept his promise, and under his new rule, the kingdom of Zoma flourished once more. From that day on, King Oba was known not as the selfish king but as the wise and generous ruler. And Amina, the selfless maiden, became a beloved advisor, her name etched in the hearts of the people forever. Thanks for watching. Comment your thoughts on this story. Don't forget to like, share and follow The African Tales. For more stories, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel The African Tales.